Okay, we have to talk about this. I'm not even sure what to call what we saw this weekend.
It wasn't a football game.
No, it was like a public cry for help from an entire organization. For those of us who, live and die with the Giants, we are in a state of high alarm.
And that's what we need to do here. We need to go past just the pure agony of it all and really break down what the sources are saying.
Right. We need to understand the structure of this failure for you, the fan, to know what's actually wrong here.
It's not just one thing. It goes from the coaching to the front office and, probably all the way to the top.
Let's start with the one number that says it all. The headline stat. I just need to hear you say it one more time because I still don't fully believe it's real.
It's real. 33. 33 total passing yards for the New York Football Giants.
33.
And that's not a typo. You have to understand, that number is so catastrophically bad, it's almost hard to do by accident.
It's like high school level stuff. It just screams that there is zero faith in the passing game. Zero. And no vision from the offensive coordinator.
None. No team in the modern NFL gets that number unless their quarterback gets hurt on the first play. And here, it felt like it was by design, which I guess brings us right to Jaxson Dart.
Yeah, let's start there. Our big investment, the future of the franchise.
It's supposed to be.
But based on that game, I'm not sure if we're developing a QB or just putting him through some kind of psychological warfare training.
It's a fair question because the specifics are they're stunning. The analysis shows that Dart didn't complete a single pass until the 2-minute warning.
Of the first half.
And what was that magnificent throw?
A beautiful 2-yard masterpiece.
Right. And multiple analysts pointed out the whole scheme looked less like an NFL offense and more like Army-Navy football.
Oh, the triple option comparison. That stings. What does that even mean for an NFL team in this day and age?
It means your playbook has been shrunk down to almost nothing. It's all heavy run concepts, option pitches. You're basically banning the forward pass unless you absolutely have to.
So you're not asking your young QB to read a defense to, make a play?
Nope. You're asking him to hand the ball off and not mess up. It's a scheme that is it's toxic for developing a guy like Dart.
And his actual performance. What did the sources say about him?
Well, this is the nuanced part. The consensus was he didn't even play bad. He just didn't really play at all.
So he was just there.
Physically, yes, but spiritually, emotionally, the coaches had completely unplugged him from the game.
So he's just a spectator to his own train wreck. And the few times he did try to throw, what happened?
It was a total system failure. The sources break it down. It wasn't just him. The receivers were either completely covered
or running routes that looked like they had a dentist appointment to get to.
Exactly. Or, and this is the killer, they were dropping the few balls that were actually catchable.
And we have to talk about the drops. Theo Johnson, Darius Slayton. Come on, the drops are absolutely killing us. Any momentum just dies.
They're rhythm killers. And for a young QB like Dart, who's still trying to figure out how to beat these, high-pressure blitz packages.
Which he couldn't.
He couldn't because nobody was helping him. The line wasn't giving him time. The receivers weren't getting open. Which brings us squarely to the man calling the plays.
Oh, yeah. Mike Kafka. The guy who went from the next boy genius to, I don't know what this is. It's like he found a Madden 2003 strategy guide and decided, yep, this is the one.
The critique of Kafka is just scathing. And it's because he coached scared, completely terrified. The game plan, they argue, was literally designed to protect Dart by just banning throwing.
He neutered him.
The result wasn't an offense. The sources called it a screenless, passless, sack-happy PowerPoint presentation on how not to run an NFL offense.
And the cowardice is the most infuriating part. They were so afraid of the blitz.
Even though the other coordinator forgot to blitz half the time.
Right. They were playing against ghosts. Why? Why would you do that to your own team?
Well, this is where you have to connect it to the pressure from upstairs. The feeling is that the mandate from the front office was do not turn the ball over, avoid embarrassment.
And Kafka's solution was to just not play offense.
Essentially, yes. Eliminate all risk. But you can't develop a franchise quarterback if you eliminate the need for him to, function as one.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure, and it confirms what every fan is thinking. Kafka is not the guy. He's just not the guy we need leading this offense.
And that's why this game plan matters so much for you, the listener, because the number one job, the only job that matters this season is to develop Jaxson Dart. And this actively works against that.
But even if we fired Kafka tomorrow, who is Dart throwing to? Which brings us to the front office. and to Joe Schoen.
Exactly. The failure goes higher up.
And I've got to say, I am just so fed up. How does Joe Schoen still have his job? He was supposed to fix this.
The public critique is right there with you. The consensus is simple. This roster has no weapons.
No weapons. The sources are brutal. They're pulling out names from the past. No Shockey, no Tiki, no Ike Hilliard. It's an indictment.
And they were so harsh, they didn't even mention Malik Neighbors, the guy who was supposed to be the centerpiece, because the talent around him is just that bad.
So what about the argument that he had to clean up the salary cap, that he inherited a mess? Doesn't that buy him some time?
It does, and the sources acknowledge that. But they counter by saying, okay, you're 3 years in, you have to show something, you have to hit on draft picks and find talent. And beyond the lack of weapons, where are the impact players?
They're not there.
They're not. And that's why the analysis says he's failed thus far to give Dart what he needs to succeed.
And when you put it all together, the bad coaching, the bad roster, the injuries, the sources are basically saying the whole organization is rotting from the top down.
That's the phrase they use. And they link it critically to ownership meddling, specifically John Mara.
I have zero confidence in this ownership group. Zero. They let this happen over and over. They promote from within. They're afraid of real change.
And that creates paralysis, a fear-based culture where coaches are afraid to coach and executives are afraid to take risks.
So the rumors about Schoen gift wrapping his pink slip for the New Year's party, honestly, it feels overdue. If you can't put weapons on the field, what are you even doing?
It's a fair question. The entire environment just seems toxic to any kind of growth.
Okay, let's try to find something positive. Because in all that darkness, there were a few bright spots.
Yeah.
Defense, at least, they showed up.
They did. And we have to start with Abdul Carter. The guy is a monster. He stacked another huge week.
He looks like Osi Umenyiora mixed with a blender full of Red Bull.
Yeah.
He is just pure energy off the edge, a real building block.
Absolutely. And you have to shout out Javon Holland, too. The sources called him the adult in the room, just always in the right place, cleaning up messes.
And Theo Johnson, even with the drops, the effort is there. He's running hard, even when he knows the ball isn't coming. That's professionalism.
And don't sleep on the kicker, Ben Sauls. In a dark season, a reliable kicker is a real asset. They said he's hitting these curving kicks like a fast and furious car chase. He could be sneakily huge for 2026.
But there's always a but. The injury report is just grim. Kayvon is on IR. Andrew Thomas is probably done for the year. It never ends.
And it's not just injuries. There's also some internal decay. Let's talk about Dexter Lawrence. He's gone from all-pro to all-casual. The numbers show a big drop in pressures.
And this is a huge problem.
Yeah.
The defense cannot stop the run. It's a massive issue. They just get gashed over and over.
And when you can't stop the run, you can't get off the field, which makes the offense's 33 yards even worse.
And we keep throwing these rookies into impossible situations. Like Marcus Bowe. The guy's athletic, he's fast, but he's getting bullied like it's 7th grade lunch hour out there.
Because you can't just throw rookies into a burning building and expect them to thrive.
Which brings us to the coaching rumors. The name that's floating around is Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame. Young, charismatic, I get the appeal. We need energy.
He's a dynamic personality, no doubt. But here's the big question from the sources. He's a defensive guy.
Oh, no.
Do we really want to run it back with another CEO-type coach who brings in some random offensive coordinator who could be, I don't know, Jason Garrett too, revenge of the collapse?
Please no. That's the absolute nightmare scenario. Goes right back to ownership. Will they make a bold offensive hire, or will they make the safe choice that dooms us to repeat this all over again?
It's the central question for the franchise.
So let's just boil it all down. The final reckoning. The sources all agree this season came down to one job, one mandate.
You had one job, develop Jaxson Dart.
And they failed. Miserably.
And the consequences are clear. Dart's confidence is tanked, the playbook is shrunk, and worst of all, he's become a meme. The Giants are the laughingstock of NFL Twitter again.
It's unforgivable. And the message to John Mara has to be crystal clear. Fire Kafka now. Get a coach who wants to build around the quarterback. And please, just stop meddling. Stop promoting from within. Let this team actually rebuild.
The organization is having an identity crisis. It won't commit to a real rebuild, and it won't commit to real QB development. It's stuck in the middle, and this is the result.
Well, if you felt any of that pain this week, just know you're not alone. We are all united in this big blue suffering.
So here's the final thought I want to leave you with. You have a choice. Do you stick with this current regime that guarantees stability, but also guarantees losing? Or do you take a massive risk on a new offensive-minded staff that might fail spectacularly, but might be the only way out of this mess?
And more importantly, does this ownership group even have the courage to make that choice?
That's the billion-dollar question.
Right now, it feels like we're just playing for the number one pick. But despite everything, we still have to say it.
We absolutely do.
Let's go Giants.
Let's go Giants!
But maybe let's keep an eye on that draft board. We'll be back to unpack more of this mess soon.
Just wanted to say a massive thank you for tuning in to Big Blue Tea.
Absolutely. And, a huge shout out always to Black Freezy TV.
Oh,
For
definitely.
the fantastic programming, the production, everything that makes this possible.
Yep, their work behind the scenes is just really appreciated.
It really is.
This has been Big Blue Tea.